Much time does not remain after we have taken the bridge. The company commander expresses his commendation to us and takes his own notes. But we have to move on. The next town is to be taken in order to cut off the supply route for the Russians on the main road. It goes in the direction of Pyatigorsk, but the terrain gets worse so that we can only progress slowly. When we reach the road in the dark, the boss wants to keep moving forward but not have any surprises. So we remain alone on the road and secure to the east. The other tanks continue to roll further toward the town. Soon our troops are outside of visual and audible range. We are standing on the main supply road all by ourselves. It's pitch dark here. One can hardly see one's hand before the eyes. 2 men remain in the tank. The remainder surveil the area. Just not too far away in the darkness, no one would be found. After 2 hours and some cold rations, we notice low beam headlights coming from the west. Well, our troops really advanced quickly. A truck drives towards us. We remain standing next to the tank. The truck stops. My commander approaches the driver. He wants to check where the others have gone already. I'm leaning against the tank. The loader and radio operator are relieving themselves. Our driver is sleeping inside the tank. Suddenly, there is shouting and pistol shots ring out. Russians! Those are Russians! I can still hear the commander yell, then follows a scream again. I jump on top of the tank and attempt to pull the machine pistol out of the turret. The sling is caught. I have to stick my entire head into the tank in order to pull the thing out. Already it's whistling right by my head. Another shot, another bullet bounces off the turret lock. Finally, I've got the machine pistol in my hand and aim at the muzzle flash. I yank the trigger. The recoil makes me stagger and slightly pushes me back. Now I trip backwards and fall off the tank. In the same moment, a burst from a machine pistol goes just above me. Lucked out, otherwise I would have been finished now. Dazed, I roll over next to the tracks and I try to see anything. Next to the truck, my commander is lying on the road. In the low beams, I can recognize whether he's still alive. I crawl through underneath the tank. Where on earth are the others? The driver can still be asleep. The other 2 didn't take along any weapons. They probably lie in cover somewhere. I see someone kneeling down behind the tank. That's none of us. Again I pull the trigger, and the Russian is yanked to the ground. Full of hate, he stares at me and tries to point his machine pistol in my direction. Another burst from my end. The bullets impact right in his face. I can't think about this now. I have to protect my comrades. I crawl through underneath the tank and push the dead Russian aside. Blood and brain matter are sticking to me. As I stand up, another Ivan jumps at me and pulls me to the ground. The machine pistol flies out of my hand. I attempt to get a hold of the guy, but he's much stronger than I, so I don't have a chance. I fight back with the courage of desperation, but it's no use. 2 fist blows into the face I've already received. Now the croc is kneeling on top of me and is reaching for something to beat in my skull. Now it's over. He'll bludgeon me to death. You still see dimly how he takes a swing, and then he drops the stick. Blood runs from his mouth. He flinches, he screams, he wants to get up but falls over to the side. Now I see the driver, Hermann, and the bloody bayonet in his hand. I am totally shattered but manage to pick myself up. What on earth is going on here? Why are the Russians coming from the west? From the roadside ditch, now the other comrades come racing over. They'd been too far away to help. They also didn't have any weapons on them. 3 Russians are dead and we've captured a truck. But what's happened to our commander? We pull him into the light. He got 2 holes in his chest, but he's still breathing. Quickly wound dressings are applied and we hope to get help soon. He lost a lot of blood. Where can we find a medic? Quickly it's decided. Radio operator and loader take the truck and drive after the assault unit. We stay put and hold the position. The dead Russians we roll into the ditch. The truck is full of canned fish. We stow a few of those in a hurry and off it goes. I also give the 2 a Russian machine pistol to take along and hope they will find a doctor fast. Hermann and I remain with the tank. I turn the turret to the rear. That won't happen to me again. Now it becomes clear to me why those were Russians. We'd cut off their last route of escape. They were trying to get out and drove right onto us. I'm not feeling well. The struggle with the Russian has taken more of a toll on me than I thought. Hermann opens a few of the cans of fish so we can eat. He also has some schnapps in the tank. The tank kill schnapps. It's always served after successful tank kills. We drink some and slowly the spirit of living returns. A half hour later we again see trucks approaching us. The night is almost over. We're able to recognize the vehicles. Again Russians. Damn it. We are here with only 2. This time it's trucks with anti-tank guns in tow. Regardless, we won't be able to talk to them. We have to eliminate them before they're able to dismount. We let them get to within 100 meters. Then I fire a 50mm shell directly into the truck cabin. A big bang and an incredible explosion tell me that the ammunition on the bed of the truck blew up too. Hermann reloads. I shoot at the second truck. It's now also standing still and smokes. Figures jump off. I shoot once more. Bodies fly through the air and I see through smoke that they are really trying to bring an anti-tank gun into position. I switch over to the turret machine gun and hold in between. When I let go of the trigger, the Russians are lying on the ground. I still wait, swing the turret back and forth, but they are all either wounded or dead. The explosion certainly was visible for miles. Therefore, I hope that we'll receive reinforcements soon. Morning is near. We go in search for Russian survivors. Indeed, we find 3 light wounded and 1 badly wounded. We lay them off the side into the ditch and keep an eye on them. Again we hear engine sounds, but this time it's an armored personnel carrier which is driving at us from the east. A small combat detachment, so our comrades must have made it and reported what was going on here. I am glad that we are finally received support. The comrades, under the leadership of an old master sergeant, hurry to clear the broad roadway and bring the last Russian artillery piece into a firing position. The master sergeant tell me that I am now to wait here with my tank until our comrades have caught up. 50 rounds of anti-tank gun ammunition are retrieved. That should be sufficient. He knows what he is doing and improvises with the available means a small line of defense in this area. We assist, and after a short time we have established a good defense to the west. Not a minute too soon, since Russians are rolling up again already. 10 trucks are approaching us. The master sergeant is having the Russian anti-tank gun shoot the first truck on fire. The convoy stops. The Russians surrender. We capture 9 trucks with supplies, food, and plenty of vodka. The Russians are crammed together off to the side, and are now prisoners. The captured trucks are parked somewhat away from the road. The supply train will surely be happy. A bottle of vodka still makes its way into our tank's storage trunk. You never know. How long is this supposed to go on? It's already noon. We are still awaiting orders. Finally, in the late afternoon, German vehicles appear and advance up to our roadblock. The trucks, the anti-tank gun, and the captured Russians are handed over. I have still received 2 infantry soldiers in support to man the tank, the one as substitute radio man and the bow machine gun, the other as replacement loader, for the case that it might yet get dicey. Apparently, I am now the commander. With the armored personnel carrier behind us, we get going in order to catch up to the combat group. We drive almost 20 kilometers before we encounter our own troops again. We arrive in Patigorsk. The town is already firmly in German hands. When we arrive, we are happily greeted, and the company commander gets briefed on the excitement of the past 12 hours. He informs me that our commander had died an hour ago. Until another commander is on hand, I am supposed to lead the tank as a replacement. That's a lot of responsibility for a lowly corporal, but in this case it's predominantly about experience, and the first lieutenant really has no more personal.